Hello everyone, my name is Pritam and welcome to my channel. I'm making this video at a time when more than 3 million people across the world have died due to the COVID-19 pandemic. India has been hit the hardest, with around 20 million people being infected by the virus and 200,000 registered deaths. When is this going to end? We don't yet know. However, we do know that this is not the first time the world has seen such a pandemic. In fact, in 1896, when India saw such a pandemic, it sparked independence movement in India. It eventually led to the country's independence in 1947. Today, I'm going to be talking about that story and what positive outcomes we can expect out of this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. On 23rd September 1896, the first case of the bubonic plague was detected in the Bombay Presidency, now known as Mumbai. Patients were seen to suffer from high fever, swollen lymph nodes, and gangrene in extremities like toes, ears, lips, and nose. Without treatment, a patient would usually die within a few days. This plague had originated in China, traveled through Hong Kong and into the British colony of India. In a year, it had taken the form of a pandemic and over 50,000 people died just in the state of Maharashtra, where Mumbai is located. The local British officials sprung into action to contain the plague. It is not unusual for the government to step in the case of a pandemic. However, the Indian people had been dying for a long time for other diseases like cholera and famine. In those times, the British government had shown no initiative to help the people. However, this time it was different because a plague does not differentiate between the white skin and the brown skin. Within a matter of days, the plague could spread from one corner of the city to another. The Europeans ruling the country were very well versed with the dangers of a plague from their experience through the Middle Ages. Thus, this time they had to act for self-preservation. It is a fact that the native people, especially the ones living in poverty, did not live in very hygienic conditions. They could sit beside a garbage dump and eat their food, and the smell of the garbage dump would not even bother them. It is also a fact that a plague spreads rapidly in unhygienic conditions. The government responded by mobilizing an army of white soldiers who went into homes with swords and guns, dragging people out to check if they had the disease. These soldiers had no regard for who was rich or poor, who belonged to a higher caste or lower caste. They did not see the native people as their equals and dragged the people out, beating them with their weapons and making them stand in line. Anybody who showed signs of fever was sent to a concentration camp. The white soldiers did not have any regard for the religious, social, and economic structure of the community. They dragged people from their houses and even disregarded the pleas of women. These women, who did not even show their faces to people outside their family, were dragged outside and made to stand in a line, naked, in front of the whole community. As a result of these atrocities and torture, people who did not have the plague started to commit suicide. A leader from the state of Maharashtra, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, raised his voice against the atrocities by the government. He said that the plague commission set up by the government should consist of some native people. However, his voice landed on deaf ears. The chairman of the Plague Commission, General Rand, gave complete freedom to his soldiers to do whatever they wanted. As a result, the atrocities kept on increasing, and the youth of the state started bellowing in anger. Then one night, weapons were fired. The day was June 22nd, 1897, the Diamond Jubilee celebration for Queen Victoria's coronation. At the Pune Government House, all-day celebrations were underway. Among other people, one of the attendees was General Rand, the chairman of the Plague Commission. Outside the Pune Governor House stood 5 youth waiting in silence. These 5 youth were the 3 Chafekar brothers, Ranade and Sathe. These 5 people had not just come out in a whim or fancy. Their plan was flawless. For days, they had shadowed General Rand's coach, the horse driver, and collected weapons like guns and swords. At midnight, the guests started leaving the governor house. The 5 men waited in the bush as coaches went past. The plan was Basudeo Shafekar would signal the other men when General Rand's coach was underway. Then suddenly a coach arrived that looked just like General Rand's. Balkrishna Shafekar ran to the coach and pulled his trigger inside. Unfortunately, inside the coach was not General Rand, but Lieutenant Ayerst. He died on the spot and his wife started screaming. Thinking his work has been done, Balkrishna Shafekar started walking towards his brothers, waiting in the bushes. At that moment, Basudeo Shafekar signaled that General Rand's coach was on the way. Damodar Shafekar sprang out of the bush, walked over to the coach and fired at General Rand. He didn't even get time to defend himself. Chaos started immediately and the soldiers of the British Army started looking for who was responsible. But these 5 men were nowhere to be found. Because the police could not find the culprits, they arrested Bal Gangadhar Tilak and put him in jail. At this news, the whole country erupted in revolt. Never before had a violent protest been seen in India. This was the first time a British officer was killed by the Indian people. General Rand died out of the wounds inflicted due to the gunshot on 3rd of July 1897. This incident sent chills down the spine of the British government. They understood that the Indian people are not going to tolerate their atrocities in silence any longer. 50 years later, India got her independence from the colonial rule. Now, what are the positive things we can expect from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic in India? First, decrease in pollution. The South Asian countries of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh contain one of the most polluted cities in the world. The level of air pollution in these cities leads to thousands of preventable deaths a year. When the lockdown started in 2020, the pollution levels significantly decreased. In Delhi, the capital of India, the pollution levels of nitrogen dioxide decreased by 44% in just 2 months. From the state of Punjab, for 30 years, the Himalayan mountain ranges could not be seen. Ever since the lockdown started in India, it was the first time that people were able to see the Himalayan mountain peaks. The second positive thing that can come out of the COVID-19 pandemic is more time with family. If you have ever lived in an Indian city, you probably know that commuting takes up 2 to 4 hours of your work time. Now, due to the lockdown, more companies have started releasing policies allowing their employees to work from home. As a result, people are able to give more time to their families, which was earlier taken up by the long commuting time. The third positive thing we can expect is more focus on health and immunity. Earlier, people had the idea that the food they were eating was sufficient to meet their nutritional needs. However, that is not the case. Food is not nearly as nutritious as it was 30 years ago. Many companies have already started investing in this market as people are buying more nutrition supplements. In a few years, we can expect the Indian population to be more aware of nutrition and have a healthier lifestyle. If you enjoyed this content, keep out a look on this channel for more educating, entertaining and edifying content. See you next time.